Classic Earl Brothers there, the Arkansas line off their new album, and we kicked off this set with one from Tony Furtado off his new album. We heard, what was that? Yeah, Where the Angels We Know. Wow. And Tony was here along with Luke Price, his fiddle player, and what a treat that was. April Virch followed Tony with Sandy River Bell doing all that fine flat-foot clog in there. Whoa, man, it's like almost sounded like spoons. You know, she was just doing it so right. Didn't miss a beat, did she there, Bobby Earl?
No, she didn't.
Didn't miss a beat. And then Bruce Molsky did the cowboy, and that brings us up right now, live in the studio. Robert Earl Keene, welcome back to KPFA.
Hey, how you doing there, Ray?
I'm doing fine. Who's that you brought with you?
Well, this is Mr. Thomas Wille here. This is one of the infamous Earl Brothers these days.
Is that right?
He's traveling in bad company now.
Sometimes.
He's
isn't he also part of the Windy Hill Boys?
Well, I was going to say, you know, he does a lot of things, a man of many talents, and you know, he does play in that great group, the Windy Hill.
He does.
And he spreads himself. In fact, he is actually very affectionately known as the Oracle. We call him the Bluegrass Oracle. And that's because he just knows so much and has so much of a backlog of bluegrass lore that it's staggering. I'm going to tell you a quick little story, just how staggering it is. We were on a trip a couple of years ago on tour, heading up to Canada. And, you know, you're playing music in the car and everything, as one does, because of the boredom. And he was playing some Stanley Brothers for us. And I kind of, you know, looked over him and I said, well, you know, I played that first festival in Fincastle at Cantrell's Horse Farm in 1965, and I said, as a matter of fact, our mandolin player, had just turned 16, and this mandolin player was 30. His name was Bernie Wright. He was a very well-respected mandolin player up in D.C. in that area. He played with the Stanley Brothers at that festival at Fincastle on Friday night. And it was a big deal for everybody. We were all excited about that. And I mentioned that to him. And then he was in the back of the car, and he had his iPod, and he got quiet for a minute, and we didn't hear any more out of him for maybe 10 minutes. It couldn't have been longer than that. And he came back, and he says, "Is this it?" and all of a sudden it started playing. You could hear Carlton Haney introducing Carter Stanley, and Carter gets up and says, we're mighty glad to be here on Friday night here at Fincastle, and I want to welcome our real good friend Bernie Wright, who's going to play mandolin with us. And I couldn't believe that he pulled that up out of his iPod on the night track. Now I call that the Oracle.
I'm such a
you know what I'm talking about?
A dinosaur that I can't even conceive of doing that. But
well, that's where it's gotten to these days, right?
Anyway, Robert Earl Davis and Thomas Wille here, part of the Earl Brothers. They're going to kick it off with another one of those classic Earl Brothers.
We'll give you something from the old days. We got the new. This is the 5th CD. We're going to play some things from that. Ray's going to play that for you. But we're going to dip back to the early days, the Whiskey Woman and Death CD, and we got the old capo up in on the 4th fret where it needs to be on a banjo. Should never be moved from there. And we're going to do a few up there, and we'll do Won't Be Coming Home. Keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. We can't get together, things are going all wrong. There's nothing left for me to say, I think I'm moving on. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. Your crazy life carrying on, got me on the run. I can't even sleep at night, my life is all undone. I don't feel like I did before, I'm tired of all the pain. When I go to sleep each night, remember everything. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. We can't get together, things are going all wrong. There's nothing left for me to say, I think I'm moving on. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. Well, I went out the other night walking in the rain. This will be the last time to say goodbye again. It's gonna hurt a little bit or hurt you when you cry. And you know then, baby, I'm gonna say goodbye. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. We can't get together, things are going all wrong. There's nothing left for me to say, I think I'm moving on. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. We can't get together, things are going all wrong. There's nothing left for me to say, I think I'm moving on. Don't keep your light on, baby, won't be coming home. Oh, I like that. All right, we'll give you one more here. This is This one actually is off the new CD, but the one on the CD is real good. It's got a great mandolin part from Bill Foss. But we're going to do it to you here with just two guys. And want to send this out to Nell Robinson. I know she does a lot of things for the veterans. And this is a little soldier song. And being as I'm a veteran, well, I can just do that kind of thing.
Robert Earl, that's classic Earl Brothers.
That old soldier.
That's just, okay, that's great. And Robert Earl Davis is here along with Thomas Wille, two members of the infamous, notorious, black-suited devils, the Earl Brothers.
Keep it coming, Ray. You know I like it when you talk like that.
I know you do. I know you do. You got a big gig coming up next Saturday night at the Freight Savage.
We do at the Freight. That's you know, we always like to play at the Freight. It's just an extra special treat for us, and I'm especially excited about this one because I'm going to get to do something that I've always wanted to do, and that's to have what I call the big Earl Band. I've always wanted a big band. You know, we usually travel with four, but it's going to be a six-piece affair. We're going to have twin fiddles.
Whoa.
We're going to have a mandolin and all the other good stuff. And in particular, you know, we got Tom Lucas on the fiddle. He's extraordinary. And we've got also something a little new. We've got our sister. We've got an Earl sister now.
No kidding.
And her name is Jody Richardson. And I think she's out in South Carolina now with our bass player. They've been vacationing. And I hope they're having a good time. Maybe they're listening to this, and she'd like to hear her name on the radio. But she's on several cuts on here, and her and I do one duet together, just fiddle and banjo here on called Bad Man, and several things. She's really made some nice contributions, and it just sounded so nice. We've kept it that way, at least for now. You know, anything can change, though, in time. But right now, I think that's going to be a great show. And the mandolin player is a young guy from Colorado, Kyle O'Brien. And he's been playing forever, and he's just got the magic touch, and he's played a lot he's toured with us, but he's been going to the University of San Francisco here, and it's kept him busy, but he's been getting in on some things for us. This is his last year. He's going to graduate this year, and I'm glad we could catch him probably before he goes back to Colorado. And then, of course, we've got Thomas and me and Jimmy Tizell. I have to mention James Tizell because he's... You know, on this CD, there's a few different things that happened on this CD, and one of them was that we switched over to the electric bass. I had a hard time convincing him to do that. You know, he fought that because he wanted to keep it. He thought it should be traditional, you know, and keep an upright bass. But I always thought, you know, I always wanted to have that traditional sound, the mountain sound, but I wanted it to have a real gravy rhythm, what I call a brown gravy rhythm, something that's just thick in there. And we did a few tricks on this CD, and I don't know if you talk to me real good, I might tell you one or two of them, but right now...
Which ear should I whisper in?
And I tell you where you can show James off if you'd like to play one.
We'll do it.
Is Hard Times Down the Road. We re-recorded this from the Whiskey, Women, and Death CD. Yeah. And this is number 2. And if you want to play that one, this features James on the bass. He really sets this true, and me and Thomas and James do that cover.
Let's do it right now.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. Yeah, that was once again the Earl Brothers from their new album "Hard Times Down the Road," and it's a retread from one of your earlier albums, right?
It is. And
that was featuring James Tuzell.
Mm-hmm. On that bass.
Yeah, he's a soldier out there in San Francisco. He also, I believe, plays with Emily Ball.
Yes, he
and
does.
the Bon Vivants.
Mm-hmm.
And probably some other bands that I'm not aware of. But
he plays with as many as he can.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if he could do one each day of the week, I think he would. He loves playing.
He's a great player.
You cannot keep that guy down.
Lucky to have him.
I am.
We're talking with Bobby Earl Davis and Mr. Thomas Wille here, two members of the Earl Brothers who are going to be featuring an expanded version of the Earl Brothers at the Freight and Salvage next Saturday. A full six-piece bluegrass, hardcore bluegrass band with twin fiddles and... oh, man, that sounds hot. Sounds good.
It's going to be good. It's going to be, it's just going to be a lot of fun, I think, is what. In with the darkness, it's just going to be, it's going to be a lot of nice stuff going on. And also, with, technology's changing every day. And, it's just the exchange of media and stuff, just it's sometimes hard to keep up with now. Since the last time we were there, this time they have an option, a company out of Boston, I believe it is, has an arrangement with them that they stream the show live. And it's an option if you want to do it or you don't want to do it. And, had talked to them about it, and it seemed like a good idea. So the show, not only can you come here if you're locally, you can see it that way, but if you're in the UK or Russia or France, where we sell a lot of CDs around those areas, you can stream it live on the internet.
Live from the Freight and Salvage.
And it only costs you $5 US, inflated dollars.
$5 American.
Yeah, and you can have it. But I think that's a very interesting thing. More and more.
I had no idea they were doing that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they don't do it in every club. Like there's a handful of clubs that they've made the arrangement with, and the Freight is one of them. And so that'll be interesting. And
do you get any proceeds from that?
A very small amount. Yeah, it's a minuscule amount.
I see.
But it's an equal minuscule spread throughout.
We are talking about bluegrass music.
Yeah, we are talking about bluegrass.
All right.
But I think the real thing about it is it makes it available. A lot of people, the East Coast, of course, it's going to be late night there for them. But a lot of people in Europe and stuff, in Netherlands and stuff, will be able to see it. And they've mentioned that they're excited about that. And up in Canada and stuff. So that really makes the reach, just go so far out. I know when I was completing this CD, I do the publishing of it and do the production of it, and I also do the mastering of it. I know, again, when we were traveling one day up on probably that same trip, the mandolin player that was with us, he's a young guy, and it caught my attention. He's constantly on his iPhone all the time, and I should know those things, but, he's just on his smartphone constantly. And suddenly it was like an epiphany. I realized if your music doesn't sound good on one of these phones, you're in deep, deep trouble. And so I took a lot of pains when I was doing the final mastering of this particular CD to make sure that it sounded good on those phones. I would try it on different things. And by the way, this CD, as all of the CDs of the Earl Brothers, is in mono. It's not in stereo. And that makes it kind of interesting that way. But by tickling a few frequencies and doing a few things, it made this sound good on the phones. And you kind of have to split the difference, between the big speakers and the small speakers. But just realizing that with the way music is downloaded now, I mean, a guy like that guy, if he can't sit in the back seat of the car, download a CD right there, then and there, and listen to it on his phone, you've dropped out of the loop. And I'm always aware of those things and like to keep the Earl Brothers up to date and contemporary. And it's ability to reach out, because you know we like to reach and give a hillbilly hug to as many people as we can.
You betcha. Those of you just tuning in, we're talking with Robert Earl Davis of the Earl Brothers, and we're referring to the 5th and latest album by the Earl Brothers, Outlaw Hillbilly, and they will be having a CD release party and a big party at the Freight and Salvage next Saturday in Berkeley, California. And here's something else I forgot to do. You are listening. Got to be legal here. You are listening to listener-sponsored radio for Northern and Central California, KPFA and KPFB in Berkeley, KFCF in Fresno, KPFA.org on the internet. The program is called Pig in a Pen. My name is Ray Edlaund, and we're here every other Sunday, alternating with Tom Diamant's Panhandle Country, right here on Pacifica Radio for Northern California. We're here with Robert Earl Davis and Thomas Wille. You can do another live one for us here, boys?
Sure would. I mentioned to do that. Here, we're going to do you an old one from the Whiskey Women and Death days. That's the first CD. It's called Don't Drink from a Whiskey Bottle.
Mighty fine. Mighty fine.
Whiskey bottle, Ray.
There it is, yeah. You know, something about your music here, the Earl Brothers, signature sound, I guess you can call it that. You kind of feel like, I mentioned this to you before, and, you're sitting in that bluegrass triangle there between Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, in a backrooms bar, and, there's some good old boys in there, and they're having a good time. They're lifting the glasses and really getting into the music. And that's the kind of music that I recall that I heard back then and back there, and I'm glad it's still alive out here.
Well, I think those young boys, those young 21-year-olds, they're picking up the pace and keeping it going. I know that through all the social media, the Earl Brothers are kind of getting picked up by a lot of the younger people, and especially in Ohio, I've noticed, I can see where the hits are coming. You can kind of see the demographic that people are, kind of striking at the line at, and Ohio seems to be, we get some interest out of there, and not too long ago, I've done a radio interview there, and just, you meet a lot of people on the social networking, and that just is a nice place to spread that around, and it's just become so easy now to get the music out there. 25 years ago, it was a different ball game. If you didn't have a record contract and you weren't tied into kind of a big mechanism, there was a big difference between those with and those without. And today, a group like the Earl Brothers, if it just, keeps itself, writing some interesting songs that people like and doing the things you're supposed to do to run a business, you can reach an amazing amount of people. And it just, it's really struck me of late just how much that's changed. Even in the time that I think we started in the year 2000, by 2003, social media had come in. When we first started, it really wasn't there, and it just... It's just so quick. And even this radio show, for instance, I know that some people right now, actually from the old Squid days, Pete Allen is probably listening to this right now because he wrote me, he says, well, I'm going to listen.
Well, I hope he is.
And that's an amazing thing that, just people all over the world, it's just gotten so small. And
well, it's the fact that we stream live on the internet, we have regular listeners from all over the place, Japan, Europe, some Czechoslovakia, somebody up in Hudson Bay, Canada, who listens all the time, and all over the place, so it is available if you want to hear it. Once again, bluegrass is not everyone's cup of tea, but those who are bitten by the bug, there's nothing that can match it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, you want to play one off that CD? I'm looking here.
I reckon I do.
Because I know that Tom Lucas is probably biting at the bit right now. He'd like to hear something he did, and he and I both we co-wrote this together, and he plays some good fiddle on this one. This is number 7, if you can hit that up, called The Cheater, and I think this is a good one.
I reckon it probably is. As I recall, it is. Here it is. Cheater.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what's that about there? Yeah, right.
Oh, you know how that cheating goes.
Well,
no. You know the cheater? Well, I'm not a cheater, but you know they're out there.
They are. Unfortunately, that's true.
You can get a heart pain from something like that.
Well, it's called life, you know.
Yeah, it is called life. It's called temptation.
And it's good for writing songs.
Yes, it is.
You get burned, man. Your emotions are just soaring, and it's funny how that transfers to the old pen.
It does, under the right conditions.
Under the right conditions, yeah. You got to have it helps with a bottle in front of you, too. Some nice Kentucky whiskey. Oh, boy. Sure. Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, Thomas.
Hello, Ray.
Why don't you get up there on that mic and say hi?
Well, hello, everybody.
Mr. Thomas Wille of the Earl Brothers and also of Windy Hill. And see, don't you pick with another group or two? Or?
Not right now. I mean, I think that's just it. But I've been around. I mean, I've been playing with wherever I can and stuff. But right now it's just the Earl Brothers and Windy Hill. I played some other things. I mean, I've played here with I've done a lot of Stanley Brothers stuff, I guess, in the area, just like Stanley Brothers cover bands and stuff like that, some country music, things like that.
Yeah. We were talking off mic during this last cut, and you were mentioning that Windy Hill kind of did a tour through Ohio area and some of your experiences.
Yeah, because it got me thinking about that when you mentioned Ohio and the Earl Brothers out there, and Bobby was sort of saying that they had some good action, or we had some good action out there. And I was out there in the southern Ohio just a little while ago, and because of in Windy Hill, we had a guitar player actually who lives there in Springfield, Ohio, and it's just a small town out there. And we went out there and played a lot of bars and sort of little places, and met a lot of interesting people, connected to just some of the real, I guess, hardcore bluegrass that I really like. Seems to really come out of that area. Southern Ohio, I think, just about as good of a place to hear traditional barroom bluegrass, I mean, at least historically, as anywhere. I mean, you know, people think about Kentucky or the mountains or whatever, but I mean, really it seemed like these sort of cities where Appalachian migrants went and worked and things.
These are
really where the
blue collar bars, you know.
Yeah, really good singers and stuff.
Yeah. We're talking about Red Edlaund, the Fields Brothers, you know, people like that who just kick butt, man. And you know, lovely stuff. Thomas, I understand Windy Hill is fixing to release a new album?
That is correct. We do have a new album. In fact, we've just finished mastering it, and we're putting the artwork together, I believe, this weekend, and it should be, we're hoping to have it out in the next month, and hopefully maybe we'll come in to KPFA and try and promote it and stuff. It's got 18 original songs on it. We really put a lot of work into it, and it should be a very interesting thing. And I think we'll be doing a freight show also to promote that in June. And so you know, you can see Windy Hill all around the Bay Area. We play a lot, and
Amnesia.
Yeah, we're always at Amnesia on the third Monday of the month. You can always see us there for free, and then we'll also, I think we'll be playing at Grass Valley, and for people who wanted to see that on the West Coast. And
you're going to be one of the California showcase bands?
I think we'll be on the side stage. We played the main stage last year. We've also had some lineup changes, and I've moved over to playing mandolin now in Windy Hill, and we got a new guitar player. He's actually in the other room just hanging out.
Oh, that's who that was. All right. Yeah, I know when Windy Hill was here live, Mr. Sandy Rothman was filling in on mandolin.
That's right.
Talk about an Ohio boy.
That's right. Good point. That's why I first heard I should go to Ohio from Sandy. He was, you should check that out.
Okay. Well, how's it, Thomas, one more question here. How's it working with Robert Earl here? How you like it?
Oh, it's very interesting. I like it a lot. He's always got some sort of mystical wisdom to impart. You know, he's very cryptic. He tries to describe what he wants to hear. You know, you never know what it means. It's all like decoding a puzzle. But I kind of like puzzles.
Is he getting you all hooked on some special teas?
Yes, I was just drinking his special tea in the other room right now, chewing roots and eating bugs and just all the kinds of things that he does.
Well, that's good. You know, some of it's wearing off on you. Okay, gentlemen. I don't want to consume all your time here with just talking. How'd you like to do another?
Well, so we'll do a song here, another old Earl Brothers song. This is probably from the first album. This is one of the ones that, I guess, when I first listened to the Earl Brothers. I probably was listening to KPFA, I imagine. I don't know. That's where I heard them or something. But this was one that always stood out to me, and I think it was written by John McKelvey, and I always liked how he sang this one. And so when I did join the Earl Brothers, said, I'll sing this one. I like it. So here we go. This one's called The Broken Motor.
Man, you know, that banjo style you got there, Bobby Earl, is just, I love the sound of that archtop you got, and you know, you've got your own style of playing. How'd you pick that up? Just sort of. How'd you do that? Yeah.
Well, I tell you what happened, Ray. You know, when I came out here from Virginia, I had, been copying everybody, all the ones that I can copy, Scruggs and everybody else. But I had a particular like for Billy Keith. So when I got out here, I was kind of I call myself a moderate chromatic player, kind of sprinkled in there with some chromatic stuff and did various things around here, but I kind of had a style like that. And then I think after a while I just got disenchanted with things and just kind of quit playing in the 80s, in 1980, and just went and studied some art for a while and stayed with that for about 15 years. Always kind of tickled the banjo, and I was kind of, doing some two-finger frailing, but basically I just let all of the cliche things that I knew all went away, and it went down to zero. And I think the defining moment was when the Earl Brothers first kind of surfaced that I wanted to do this with McKelvey. We were getting together with some other people, and I said, well, the only way we're going to do this if we write all the material. I realized right then and there, once I started playing, that I had to teach myself all over again from ground zero. And in that way, I think what I did was just not bring up any of the older ways, like licks and things. I just simply play what is needed to play the song. And it just kind of went that way. It just sort of, instead of worrying about jamming with other people probably and playing a lot of things, it was always specifically about the Earl Brothers. So basically the banjo was retooled just for the Earl Brothers, and I think actually being a little older and probably being through some art studying and understanding what less is more means, I just kind of adapted that into the playing, and also running we always joke around the Earl Brothers camp, but we use a glorified drum machine a lot. It basically just keeps a good beat. And I always rehearsed with this machine, so it's got a real nice regimented, clear, beat.
That old chunky sound.
Yeah, the old chunky, the sewing machine kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's basically what happened. I retaught myself from zero, and through the act of playing, out on the road a lot, it just evolved into the style that it is, and it's specific for the need that it has, to fulfill the Earl Brothers. And of course, I've never been good at jamming that much, and I know that, and that's probably why I have to write, do my own thing, because, so many people are a lot better than I would ever be. And really, even now, I think if I was, I could probably play some other things, but it wouldn't be the same. Mm-hmm. I really, really, really enjoy playing my own music, and, just doing the best I can at that, and that's...
Well, I for one, am very grateful that you've landed right in that spot.
Yeah, I never really realized actually how sort of unique banjo style it was until I started trying to play the banjo just maybe 9 months ago or something, a little bit, and I really realized that the things that Bobby does on the banjo are really odd. They really are not. There's just nobody else you'll hear a few little licks in there and things from, but very little, very, very little. It's really, truly odd stuff. The places where the melody notes go, and they're just unlike anybody else.
Yeah, it's mostly about the melody. I think it's important, and I always notice that about Scruggs. I think the real quality about him was he would get that melody in there. He would always work that melody, whereas some people, may just learn a lot of licks and kind of superimpose these licks onto a G or a C or a D, and of course it sort of fits, but it's not like knowing the melody, and of course I have to also say that having a nice, also when the Earl Brothers started, I acquired this banjo almost at the beginning, this old archtop. It's a 1929, just an old TB3 that Larry Cohey made a neck for. And the sound is just, it's just unmistakably ancient sound. Yeah. If you've got a good touch on it or a touch on it, you can... It's just a happy thing. I often tell people that, that I could take my left hand and just put it in my pocket and just roll it, and actually just with, could probably do quite well with that, and just play kind of sing a modal song with that. And as long as you do that, and that's a sign that you probably are doing something right, because you really want that tone. Sure. And the timing and all that stuff to be there, and it just makes the music a richer experience, I think.
And I think the fact that you were playing Keith style, melodic style, you got that melody in your head, and you're transferring it to your finger style, and it's good, very unique, as Thomas said.
But I know something. Now, I have been approached recently by a person that it appears they're going to write an instructional book for the banjo, for the Earl Brothers, putting a number of the songs that are on the albums in tablature. Really? And they're going to publish a book. And I think interspersed in that, we're kind of working on it, but I'm going to put some anecdotal things that have gone through, kind of the journey of a banjo player, because I was toying with the idea of actually writing some kind of little novel or something about the experiences, and maybe that's the way to slip it in. But he has an interest to do the tab on songs, and I get a lot of emails saying, well, how is that, or are you in some weird tuning, or where it is, and mostly it's just just in a good old G tuning, but it's the way you lean on it. And he's shown me a few things, and it's pretty close. I mean, you know, it's not an exact thing, but it's pretty close and would be useful. And I think it would be, you know, I haven't got all the details yet, so I won't go too further in it. But I think that's in the works. And I know that I'm thinking about the future here, and I'm actually thinking about an instrumental album. I've never done anything like that before, and maybe that would be my great challenge, to do an instrumental album with just 2 chords, and then they could, then we'd just make it that way.
The world might end.
That might end right there. But anyway, you know, all joking aside, I think it, you know, maybe an instrumental album up the way. So maybe a little book published and some things, but got to keep it going, you know.
With pictures too.
With pictures too. Life is so short, Ray. You know, you got to be happy, and you got to try to make other people happy.
I like pictures.
Oh, I do too.
I like big letters and lots of pictures.
Yeah, I don't do too much reading.
All right, we're talking with Bobby Earl Davis here and Thomas Wille of the Earl Brothers. They are going to be playing at the Freight and Salvage Coffee House this coming Saturday on the 13th. And, you know, when we're talking about their new CD, the latest CD called Outlaw Hillbilly, and they'll be playing cuts from that. They will also be playing all kinds of music from previous albums, and I don't know.
There we are.
Come and see.
So you want to get one more, Bobby?
Well, would you like to play? Let me feature that girl. I know that Jody Richardson. She's probably in South Carolina, and she'd love to hear herself play, and I would too. But I want you to hear it. Try that number 8. That Bad Man.
The Bad Man.
That's a banjo and fiddle duet. This is a first for an Earl.
Got it. Now, I understand, look at all these things that are published by Big Hen Music. Would you be the Big Hen?
I am the Big Hen.
You're the Big Hen. All right. Well, here we go. Bad Man on...
Right.
Yeah. jumping ahead there on that. Yeah. Now, that was Jody Richardson on the fiddle there. She's going to be one of the band members at the Freight next Saturday. She's playing fiddle, and she's been with you about a year now, is that right?
About a year, maybe a little better. She's worked in with us kind of as an understudy for a while. That was our deal. She would come in and learn a few things, and she did so well, I just thought, well, why not? You know, when we can do it. It's hard to take 6 pieces out and travel with it, but around here, which we've kind of been around here for the past couple of years, haven't done a whole lot of traveling, and it's been nice here, and so we always enjoy it when she can play with us. And she, of course, plays with Emily Bond as well, and, you know, just a real delightful person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pleasant person.
Yeah.
And
well, cool.
Well,
do you want to do one more?
Well, we could do you one more here.
All right.
At least a live one, and we can always talk. I love to talk, you know me.
Here we are with Bobby Earl Davis and Thomas Wille of the Earl Brothers.
There's a little one called Hell on the Highway here. Hell on the Highway.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Well, what you guys want to talk about now? We got, maybe 10 minutes here we can kill.
I could talk about, let's see, what could I talk about? I could talk about something. I will tell one of the secrets.
All right, yeah.
There's many secrets on this CD because, I really, again, like I say, I wanted that thing to have a nice... I wanted it to be, certainly mountain music influence and, sound like the Earl Brothers, but also really wanted it to have a good drive and rhythm. And I, from in the past, I've also played a Telecaster from time to time, and I've always been aware of the Rolling Stones. And... I think the Rolling Stones were always my preference over the Beatles. That's just a personal thing. But in looking around at Keith Richards, I became aware very early that at the early stages of the Rolling Stones, he took his guitar and he took the 6th string off of his electric guitar, and he played with 5 strings, and he tuned it exactly like a banjo. And that always kind of struck me because, things like Satisfaction and those with that real grinding kind of, rhythm, he plays a guitar like that, and it's basically in a G chord. And and you can see a lot of, clips, he'll have a capo, and plays with a capo. So basically he's playing a banjo. And that always interested me, obviously, playing a banjo and fooling with the guitar. And about, a couple of years ago, I had a guy change my Telecaster over that way, and I thought, why not? And then when this project came up, after playing the electric, tuned up that way, I thought, wow, now that's a powerful thing. And so I took my D18, and I took that 6th string off.
Now, you're talking about the big E string.
I'm talking about the big E string.
Yeah, all right.
And the rest of it, you tune exactly like a banjo. In other words, the next heavier string is tuned like the 5th string, and the others are tuned like the banjo. And then, bless his soul, Thomas Wille, I said, now, Thomas, I want you to take this D18 and let's use this for rhythm on a number of these things. I think it's going to really work. It's going to be a good thing. And he was accommodating and did that. And a number of these, maybe most of them, more or less, are with that D18 tuned like Keith Richards' guitar. And it really makes for a...
Played like Carter Stanley.
And you played like Carter Stanley. Well, it makes you play like Carter Stanley because in one sense, it doesn't let you do anything else because they don't have any runs they can do because they don't remember it. And you just have to just catch the things that are in there. But there's a lot of what old Frank Wakefield used to we call special notes. And less is more. And once we got the hook, got the thing going, songs like, Arkansas Line and Hard Times Down the Road for sure are played with that Keith Richards idea on the guitar, and basically it's like 2 banjos kind of going, but not really. And that's a good one. But
well, when I go home, I'm going to take that big E string off my D21.
You get
then I can finally make a G chord.
But I'll tell you one that's very unusual on this album is it doesn't have a banjo on it. It's the number 6. It's a slower one, and actually it features Bill Foss. He had 2 cuts on it, and I think he did a particularly nice job on the mandolin. But this also, at first we started with the banjo, and I said, this thing is just not going to work with the banjo. So I took the Keith Richards guitar, and he played his guitar, and that's what's on here. It's 2 guitars, one's tuned like a banjo, and with the mandolin, and I think this turned out real well. And
well, here it is.
I'd like to hear it.
Drank through the night, spent all our money on whiskey
much about it when you told me that you had to go. Now you say you're leaving. There's something I want you to know. Don't think about me unkindly. I'm just a poor man, I know. Never had fine things around me. Now I'm here all alone. Don't think about me unkindly. I'm just a poor man, I know. Never had fine things around me. Now I'm here all alone. We've parted forever, I know it this time. Things won't work out, I know. Don't think about me unkindly. I'm just a poor man, I know.
Snuck up on me there. Well,
Ray.
Robert Earl, Thomas Wille,
This has been a lot of fun, Ray.
we've killed pretty much an hour and a half here, haven't we?
I hope we entertained a few people.
Well, I reckon we have.
I think so.
What would you? We got any parting shots for anybody out there? Want to say hi to anybody in particular? Or?
We just send out our love to all the fans.
Hello
And,
to all the Earl Brothers.
Yeah, all you
Members
Earl Brothers.
past and present.
Yeah, members past and present.
The ones
and,
that I have never met. I'd like to say hello to them, too.
and I really hope the East Bay comes out and checks out the Earl Brothers. You really should. If you've never seen the Earl Brothers live, I can't think of a better time to see them than at this show this weekend,
It's a
because
good
it's
venue.
going to be an absolutely fun show. Twin fiddles, mandolins, and these people are all good at what they do.
Okay.
And
For
it's just
you
gonna be-
hardcore bluegrass fans out there, I mean, really want to hear some some really good classic bluegrass music, traditional. Saturday night at the Freight, 6-piece bluegrass band featuring the Earl Brothers, and show your support for live music out here and this kind of bluegrass. I love it. Okay, guys.
All right.
It's been a real
All
treat.
right.
You
Take care.
You take care.
See you down the road.
Yeah, we will. And oh man, it's too tight shoe here. We're gonna have to. I'm just gonna waltz on up to the outro here.